Hello, and welcome back to the Making Fire podcast. This is a podcast where two longtime besties talk about their favorite TV show, Survivor. But before we get into our overview of Survivor season 47 cast,
40 several, some might say.
40 several, some might say, um, we have a bit of a disclaimer on this episode. We're recording on a new platform and it looks so different. Hopefully the quality audio and visual is better than it was before. And it just looks weird. And I'm like, I hope I'm doing this right. But I guess we'll see. If this podcast episode goes up, then
If you're not seeing this, it was successful. If you don't see it, then...
Yeah. So, but before we jump in, Riley, how are you?
Why did you just roll your eyes?
Well, I just remember that I actually don't have anything prepared for How Am I? So, but I did get a little sneak preview of what you're going to talk about, so I might just piggyback off that.
I'll just talk for 30 minutes and you can figure it out.
Got it.
Well, Maddie, how am I is the true question of the day. I'm doing so fine.
Okay.
I have been walking a lot recently. Now, you might be thinking, Riley, where are you going to walk, considering you have no sidewalks in the span of about maybe 5 miles around your house? And that is a great question, audience members. I recently took over my mom's walking pad that she got for Christmas.
Oh.
She got for Christmas from my stepfather. Got her a walking pad. She used it approximately 3 times and hasn't used it much since. And I was complaining to her because I was like, Mom, I'm really in a walking mood, but I don't want to have to drive anywhere to walk. Like, I just want to be able to, like, if I'm on a walking mood, I want to be able to just, like, get up and go. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I wish, because we have a treadmill at our house. But my brother lost the key to our treadmill. So basically,
How do you do that?
well, he allegedly took it into his bedroom,
So,
and his bedroom is a mess.
that's interesting.
This was years ago. Like, nobody's used this treadmill since forever.
Wow.
Yeah. And so she was like, oh, well, you can just walk on my walking pad. And I was like, oh. She was like, yeah, I don't use it. And I was like, okay. So you can't see it. It's a little bit out of screen here. But I set it up in my bedroom. And I have my TV on my TV's on a nice little mount where I can, like, it's not on a swivel. I don't think my TV's meant to do this. It's like I can just swivel it, but it's not on, like, a swivel stand. I think there might be, like, a screw loose or something, and so it kind of just moves how I want it to move. I don't think it's supposed to do that. I don't know where I got this TV from. I legitimately don't remember where it was at our house before I got it. It's not a new TV. Like,
It just,
it's old.
like, appeared in your room one day, magically.
Well, I did ask. I remember I redid my room when I turned 18, maybe 17 or 18. I was like, I want to do a rehaul of my room. So I got, like, new furniture. I got my TV. Well, because the rule for the longest time was no TVs in the bedroom. And I was like, can I please have a TV in my bedroom? And they're like, yes. And they kind of just gave me one that was around the house, that nobody, like, that didn't have a use. Anyway, so I'm able to, like, swivel my TV, and I set up my walking pad, and I recently got I have these, like, IKEA shelves that they're on the floor, and they go, like, floor. They're they're a little shorter than me, maybe like 5 feet, a little less than 5 feet. But they're perfect height while I'm walking, that I'm able to just, like, set my stuff on it. The problem is I would love to sort of use my desk while I walk, or, like, use my computer while I walk. But the problem is I'm not able to.
I was gonna say, when are we gonna get a walking podcast episode?
And I would be thrilled to do that for you all. It's just that my monitor is currently on, I don't know how, it's on a laptop. Like, if you were laying in bed and you wanted to work in bed, you would put your laptop on what my monitor is standing on, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not really it's not a monitor stand. That's not what it's meant for. So Any time my desk wobbles, it's a little bit like scary what's gonna happen. But I've been walking so much. I walked 10,000 steps 3 days in a row. And I just been,
Wow.
it takes you about a little less than 2 hours to walk at its fastest, because it's not a treadmill, so you can't walk like 7 miles per hour. The fastest it goes is 3.
You can't run on it.
No, you can't run on it. And I'm a little heavier than what you're, I think the max is like, I don't know what the max is. I think I'm heavier than the intended max that you're supposed to like have for it. Just slightly. And so I'm like, I really don't want to put too much strain on it, but I'm like, girl, the problem is 2 hours in my head is not a lot of time. It's either like I can spend 2 hours in bed, or I can spend 2 hours walking and like watching the thing that I'd be watching in bed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I just like put my podcast on my visual podcast, put my visual podcast on the TV, or put like whatever I'm watching on the TV, walk for 2 hours, do some stuff on my phone, and like live my life. And it's been good. I've done it. I last Sunday was the first time I did it. I wasn't very mindful, cutesy, or demure when I did it the first time. I didn't really like, guys, I'm a big boy, so like if I don't stretch, I don't know, like it's like 5 miles. That's almost 5 miles of walking that I'm doing. A little less than like 4.5. That's a lot of miles to walk in one go. Like that's not throughout the day. That was just in like one sitting. My legs definitely hurt. And then I did it again Monday morning. So I did it Sunday afternoon, Monday morning, and then I went to work Monday night. So then I got an extra like 5,000, 6,000 steps just from like work. That was crazy. I was like, oh, I can't do this again. But then I did it again, and it was fine. It's fine. It's slay. It's so good.
I love that.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it. So, well, are you going to piggyback off of that, Maddie? How are you doing?
I'm so good. And I also have a walking update in my life. So all summer, I've been going on a morning walk and an evening walk, and just around the neighborhood. And it's so nice to just enjoy the weather and like have, for me, no screen time. I just like listen to a podcast, which I've really gotten back into podcasts as well. I like took a little bit of a break from it, but now I'm like, oh my God, I have so many episodes to catch up on. So that has been really fun. And not to rub it in a little bit, but I do now have a lot of sidewalks around me, and my world actually just expanded. So for a long time, and the entire time I've lived where I live, like over 2 years, which is crazy, there's been no sidewalks connecting my neighborhood to like a more like the other neighborhood, or to like a little area with like a grocery store and like coffee shop, blah blah blah. And that still is a little bit of a walk for sure, but I can get there now safely. They just finished redoing a road that now added a sidewalk and a crosswalk. And so now I, over the weekend, did it for the first time. There is an elementary school by me that has a fenced field. And I used to have to drive my dog over to go play in the field, which totally just like it's not the vibe. I hate
not very
driving.
cutesy demure.
No, not at all.
Or mindful.
But now I can walk over there, and it is so much fun. I have just been like walking all over the place, and it happens all the time. I live in an area that has just like it's a really big neighborhood, and I'm trying to like go to a new part of it like at least once a week, where I'm like, oh my God, I've lived here for over 2 years, but I've never been to like this part of it before. And so that's also been really fun, and I love it. And it's also, oh my God, it was like in the 60s for 2 days last week, actually over the weekend, which is why I went on such a long walk. I was like, I'm good to be outside for all day. And it's just so nice. It's gonna be like mid to high 80s all of this next week, so that's not very fall.
I gotta pack for some fun in the sun.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because sometimes it just drops to like 60 for like 3 days.
I'll just pack 10 weeks. Oh, I'll pack for 10 days worth of clothes, and it'll be fine.
So Anyways, that is my life. I'm thinking maybe if I get bored this weekend, I'll just like walk over to the coffee shop. It's definitely going to be like, it's like 2 miles of a walk, but that's fine.
We'll have to go on a little hot girl walk while I'm there.
Yes, we will. It goes, oh my God, I'm so excited. It has my favorite bougie grocery store with all local goods and bread and delicious cheese.
I love bread.
So anyways, should we get into this Survivor 47 cast?
Of course we shall.
Okay. Also, this is our third time doing it, but it still feels like the first time every time. I forget how we did it the other 2 times, but
Guys, it's our year anniversary. When you see this,
Oh my God.
we're past our year anniversary.
yes, we are. September 14th is our 1 year of uploading to YouTube, which, how has it been a year?
We have a viewer for each year we've been doing this.
Okay, and you know what? We're actively working on that.
Occasionally a viewer for every month. That's when
Yeah.
you know the content is good.
Yeah. No, I am ready for this to be our full-time job.
We're working on it, y'all. We're trying to pick up the production value. We're
Investing a little.
investing in our business. If y'all want to invest, how it'll work is like we get you guys to invest, and then you guys sort of go out, get others to listen to our podcast, and get them sort of hyped up on the idea of like the Making Fire pod, and get them to invest a little bit, and then you'll make a little bit money. We'll be like, thank you so much for getting people to invest. And so
Yeah.
then we'll give you a little bit of money for sort of creating that process with other people. And then if they go on to do that, you'll start making more money because it's like, okay, you're creating sort of a chain reaction and you're the start of it. And so we'll obviously like get back money because we're the Making Fire pod, like it's our business, but like we'll make sure, like as a wise man once said, some sprinkle down economics. We'll make sure you'll make a little bit of money. We'll make sure the people
Sprinkle down? I think it's
trickle down. Damn. Trickle down economics. So just make sure there's like a chain reaction of like money sort of going down. The more and more we sort of grow our business, everybody sort of gets a couple people. It'll be
Yeah.
a little bit of that vibe. It'll be sort of like shaped like, if you think about the dynamic, it'll be sort of shaped like this.
Where we are at the top.
Where we're at the top. And then it sort of like goes down, down, down. So
Yeah.
if you're interested, let us know.
Yeah. Drop a comment. Hey, girly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really excited about our business model, and I can't wait to like get that fully rolled out.
And it's legal. It's fully legal.
Yeah. Anyways. Okay. Well, the way we're going to do this episode is we're just going to go back and forth on these cast members, just share a little bit of information about them and our very surface level what's the word? Assessment
Thoughts?
of these people.
Assessment,
Thoughts. And we are going based off the Survivor 47 Entertainment Weekly Meet the Cast article.
We do if you're new, if this is your first season watching along with us, we don't do any preseason sort of sleuthing.
Correct.
We come in, this is the past 2 seasons, this has been the only article we've read, is the Entertainment Weekly article. We read it pre-podcast, and this is all we get on the people. So we don't really know what these people sound like.
And we don't know how to pronounce their names.
That is usually an issue this first episode. So
Yeah.
thoughts on that. But this is all. So if we miss, I don't know. What if if a major thing has happened with one of these contestants,
We don't know about it.
we don't know about it. We go in pretty much blind to this podcast. So sorry if we're hyping up a problematic fave already or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Should I start?
Yeah.
Okay. First off, we have Teeny Chirichillo.
I think maybe we can go without last names.
Okay, yeah. But it's typically where it gets a little bit more complicated.
Yeah.
Okay, Teeny is 24 years old from Manahawkin, New Jersey, and they're a freelance writer. And yes.
Do we know what Teeny's pronouns are?
I don't know, so I was going with a they them.
I think it might be she, they.
Okay.
Are they she? You talk, I'm going to research.
You research. I just, in general, like
Maddie
to hit
doesn't
them
care
with a
about
they.
people's pronouns.
Oh. Anyways, so Teeny, I thought was really fun. I, first of all, just off the dome, love the jacket. I want that. We also got a Courtney Yates shout out from them, which is so entertaining. But then I did think that Teeny does not give the vibe that they will be making the same, out of pocket comments about others that Courtney might. So not sure how that will relate. And then they also play in mock Survivor games, which is very Riley core.
Okay, don't do too much. Don't do too much.
Did you find any info?
I clicked on what I thought was a Reddit post, but it didn't do much for me. Let me keep looking around real quick.
Okay. Well,
Maybe
Teeny's
if I
just
go to their Twitter. Sometimes the woke has their...
Yeah. Anyways, I also thought it was interesting. Favorite hobbies, Planet Fitness is one of them, and that is one of our listeners' favorite hobbies as well. So shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out Planet Fitness. And pet peeves when people are constantly late. Yeah, me too. I don't know why, but that really irks me as well.
That's so me-coded. Teeny is me-coded.
Yes, so true.
Oh my god, wait. She's kind of like me for real is what I wrote down on my... Okay, wait, hold on. I'm just going to look her up on Twitter real quick. Sorry, my microphone. I'm trying to do this thing where I maybe hold my microphone for the pod.
Actually, no, the more that I read this, it is Riley.
No,
Why will you be the sole survivor? People like me, and I like people. And
so true.
Their social game is going to be killer.
She, they.
Okay.
Their pronouns are she, they. I was going through... Sorry, I'm just going to take over for a second. I was going through and listening. I was reading through this thing, and I was like, no, this is very me-coded. Down to the favorite hobbies, writing, thrifting, reading nonfiction, the internet, Planet Fitness, legit Survivor. I'm like, wait, that is so me-coded. Most of those... Planet Fitness, soon to be.
Oh, are you planning on joining?
Well, I don't know. We're starting slow. We're doing the walking pad. We'll get there eventually. But I did think I was very like, this is... They are kind of me core at the end of the day.
Yeah.
She gets she-they'd. I also get she-they'd a lot. I do quite a bit. It's mostly I would say they, she. Most people go in for the they before the she, but I do get she a lot. Sorry, y'all. I accidentally exposed where I worked. We have to cut that out. Will you cut that out?
Riley said he works at the the blank place in this location. Go visit him. Go visit they, she.
Okay, my manager who is a she, they, or no, she, her, I think. Yeah, she, her. She got, her and I were standing next to each other at work, and a customer came up to us and said, oh my god, you guys must be twins. And we said, no, my manager, she said, no, but that is actually not the first time that's happened. Like, somebody said that. And it's true. It's not the first time. That has happened a couple times. And, no, not a couple. It happened one time before. This makes it a couple because it happened 2 times. Anyway, and the customer laughed and said, oh my god, well, you guys must be related. And then I go, nope, we're not related at all, actually. We are just co-workers.
Sisters.
We're sisters. So yes, I do get she heard a lot at work. I do.
That's so interesting.
I think I get she heard more than I get they them'd.
Really?
Yes.
No way.
When it's not he, him. When somebody isn't like go hand him something. If it's like if they're making a mistake on my pronouns, usually it's she, her more than they, them.
Okay.
Have we not talked about this before?
No. Well, I think
no, because then I talked to
we
Rowan.
Haven't actually really talked about it.
I was talking to Rowan, my sibling. They are non-binary, and I was telling Rowan do I give non-binary teas at the end of the day? Like, am I giving non-binary that girl?
Yeah. What did they say?
They said, I don't think so. And I was like, okay, well, the general public thinks so. So
Okay.
anyway,
Shout out to
yes.
the general public.
Shout out to the general public. Love you. Well, I did like Teenie. I don't know. I feel like the vibe of Teenie is this is going to be somebody, she's going to be like a preseason. Like, it's hard to see a personality like this and be like, how do you not acknowledge that this is like, I don't know, like, they're different. Does that make sense? It's giving Jughead. It's giving, like, I'm different.
You're different.
I wear this hat. And I feel like this is something we get preseason a lot. We'll see a couple people. I'm thinking like a Carolyn. I'm like, Carolyn is somebody who is different. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so, like, with different people, like a Jam, you see different people and you're like, oh, like a Liz. You're like, they're going to like, how can you cast this person and them not, like, do well, or at least like be a character in the season in some shape or form? A Banu.
Okay,
Banu didn't do well, but I feel like we could tell preseason that Banu was going to be somebody that we were like, okay, we have to watch for this person.
I feel like I kind of thought the same thing about Lydia, but that did not come to fruition.
Well, you just picked like the one person out of all the people I listed. Like, I gave a lot of great examples. And
I
you
know,
said,
but
well,
I would say also this is a lipstick, not like.
Is that your fidget toy for that? I'm
that
finding
and a
right
bobby
now.
pin.
I'm finding right now that I'm holding my microphone. I'm not like playing with anything.
That's really interesting.
You should try that maybe.
Okay. My first thought when I was reading Teeny's information was like, oh, this is just different version of Lydia. So I think that's kind of where I was coming from.
I get that.
Yeah.
I don't think Teeny's Teeny's only 24. Teeny and I were in high school at the same time.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Now that I'm getting older, I'm active, like, that is the comparison I'm having with people near my age. I'm like, oh wait, no, Teeny and I were fully in high school at the same time.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm excited for Teeny. I think that'll be interesting. She said that she loves gossip. She wants an ally that she can gossip with, and I think that's so real and so me coded.
So you coded. I do want to make one comment.
Of course.
I do think we might need to go a little bit faster because we do have a lot of people.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Keep going. We're going.
Not to cut you off.
No, it's okay. That was it. That was my last thought. I love gossip.
Okay.
Next person. Oh, I'm the next person. Next person, we're talking about Rome. Rome is 30, from Corvallis, lives in Phoenix, and is an esports commentator.
Yeah.
He says that the hardest thing he's had experience in his life is tearing his Achilles.
Yeah.
I've never done that.
He
But
said
that does
it's
sound
really
painful.
painful.
Yeah. Shout out to all my high school track and field athletes / basketball players. I feel like those are tended to be like the ones who would tear their Achilles most often.
Interesting.
Volleyball players. He wants to be. There was a weird dynamic. I think a lot of people, or maybe not a lot, but a couple people throughout this little cast list, there's a couple people who have this feeling that they want allies that they can sort of set up.
Yeah.
They want allies who actively play a worse game than them that they can sort of set up in the long run. And Rome is not the only person that says this. No.
I got weird vibes from Rome. I did want to say we did get a Todd shout out, and Survivor China so far is 2 for 2 representing, which is so crazy.
We really pre-gamed with the right season this time around.
Did. I also thought the Fortnite player comment was interesting. Another Riley coded.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And also, multiple people brought this up as well, actually playing your idols. So that was entertaining, and he's going to win 4 immunity challenges. I don't really love the cockiness. I think that's a bit of a like turn off for me on Rome, but I can't wait to watch him try. Yeah. Okay. Next, we have Annika, who is a 26-year-old from Los Angeles, California. She is a marketing manager. And okay, here's my thing. I didn't love that not every single, but like most of her answers related to Survivor and were like making Survivor kind of feel like her only personality just in this interview.
I feel like a couple people felt that way.
Yes, this one really stuck out to me. It was the first one like that.
I forgot. Okay, not to go on a tangent real quick, but what I forgot from last season, the thing that really upsets me about the Entertainment Weekly article is the way they abbreviate their states. I remember this is something we talked about last time, because I'm looking the Rome, they did Oregon with 3 letters, Arizona with 4, California has 5, and then if you scroll down, I was looking through Hawaii and a couple people is fully spelled out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is so strange. Anyway, that's my tangent for this part of the podcast.
That's how you feel about her.
Annika, I agree. I feel like she's gonna be messy for some reason, and I don't know why. I think her wanting to play like Queen Sandra, and also she said, I'm just gonna trust my gut. Something about I'm just gonna trust my gut, I just feel like means you're gonna be messy.
Yeah.
My gut tells me... Yeah, oh no, I love it. I'm really excited. I feel like 26 is the perfect age for messiness. I feel like she just gives off... I'm looking at this little pose right here. My B pose nasty. And I'm getting the energy that I'm just like, you seem like a messy person in the best way. Like, not in a negative way. Like, I feel like you're just...
Yeah.
I feel like she's going to be messy and a little bit more... what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit more understanding than Venus. I'm getting Venus energy, but not delusional. Not as delusional as Venus.
Yeah.
She's going to be more present in the moment, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I don't have that many comments about her because I didn't really like her bio.
She went through a house fire.
She did.
Her family lost a lot of their things from a house fire.
Is horrible.
It is, and I think we should just have a moment.
Okay.
Moving on, TK, Taryn TK Foster. Well, he has kidney disease. Had kidney disease.
Not gonna go into his age, where he's from.
Okay, well, I feel like the kidney disease was a big thing for him. Age 31. He's from
he
Prince
like really
George.
let
Is
that affect
MD
him.
Maryland? Is MD Maryland?
MD, yes.
I think that means he's a doctor. From Prince George County, Maryland, but currently resides in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. That's a cigarette company.
Yeah.
And he's currently an athlete marketing manager. We have a lot of managers, and one thing I noticed, there's a lot of people involved in the media somehow this season.
Yeah.
We have a lot of podcasters, we have some like broadcasters, I feel like marketing is also sort of media-esque, which is interesting. TK has gone through kidney disease. That was the one note I wrote for him. I wrote kidney disease. Okay, Selena Gomez.
Oh, lupus. Is that what lupus is?
Is lupus kidney related?
I don't know what.
Lupus affects which organ? It might be your liver. Is that your liver?
No, well, I know Selena Gomez had
kidneys. Lupus can affect your kidneys, including kidney. Oh. Well, it can affect your joints, tendons, kidneys, and skin, and blood vessels, and it can also affect your heart, lungs, and brain. So there's kind of a multitudinous for lupus specifically. I don't think TK had lupus. He just had kidney disease, which was really detrimental to him.
I don't know if you can beat lupus. So
did TK beat his kidney disease?
It says beating kidney disease.
Oh yes,
definitely prepared him for the game.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Didn't Selena get a kidney from like
Yeah,
a
from
friend,
her
and they're not
friend.
friends anymore.
Correct.
It was like a whole thing.
Yeah. I would if you needed a kidney. I would help out.
That's so kind.
Only if then we didn't have to talk after.
You would give a kidney so you didn't have to talk to me. Girl, I'll take that fuck ass kidney. I will take that kidney. Goodbye.
Like, I'll take that kidney. I don't even need it.
I don't even need it. I'll get 3 of them. I don't know how I feel about TK. He wants authenticity. He doesn't want a character in his allies. Is when we're talking about an alliance partner. I value authenticity and trust. I don't want to be aligned with someone who is just being a character for TV. Baby, you're on reality TV.
Such a funny comment.
I'm like, what's the point for you? So is it like your judgment of like who? Because I would say, again, bring him. Oh my god, 2 times in 1 episode. Good for him. Banu, I would say, was being his authentic and true self.
And he is also a character on TV.
I would say Liz was being her authentic and true self.
Yeah.
I would say Q was being his authentic and true self.
I also think that maybe in the first few days, people might be playing up like who they are a bit, which maybe even not, because like you want to authentically have these connections with people. But in a game where you have like basically no food, you're sleeping outside, like I think that humbles you real quick, and being concerned about people being characters for TV is not really something I would be concerned about.
Yeah, I could understand why you would maybe, where that concern is coming from, but at the end of the day,
I also want to point out, so the microphone being your fidget toy did not last long. Those nail clippers have entered the picture.
The nail clippers have entered the picture. Well, because now I found a way to just hold it with one hand. I was holding it with 2 hands at the beginning of the episode, but now we're sort of like...
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about TK. I feel like this is somebody who might go early.
Which is also interesting because he says he wants to play like Caleb, but make it deeper into the game. Same vibes as you. Also, I need to ban myself from saying the word vibes for the rest of the episode because...
I was also going to say we should ban a word.
Really?
That being, we need to ban people saying they want to play like Tony. I am
over it.
People want to play like Tony.
Over it.
What do you know about Tony? You just know that he's a 2-time winner.
You know that he's a character on TV.
My favorite player of all time is Tony. He was unapologetically him, and I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, yeah, his first season. I don't know, maybe seasons 2 and 3 that necessarily worked out for him, but I'm over Tony comparisons. I'm so sorry. This is a hot take. I'm not a Tony fan or stan. So,
no. I mean,
well, anyway,
period.
I won't go. As a player, I'm sure he's fine as a person. I'll just say as a player, I don't like him for TV. Anyway.
Yeah.
Next person?
Moving on, we have Tiana, who is a 27-year-old flight attendant from Hawaii. And one thing really did stick out to me in this, and that is that she is Gabler's #1 fan.
Is that what she... Wait, I missed that.
She wrote, in all caps, I also
She wrote a lot.
Gabler. She did write a lot.
She did write a lot, you guys.
Yeah. So that was just like an interesting thing I had to point out. I also just said she seems nice IDK because it was kind of a lot to get through. Being a flight attendant seems really cool.
You know, a flight attendant has won before.
A gay Mormon flight attendant. Which I was going to say, I'm not saying that at all, but she did go to play sand volleyball for University of Utah. So
I didn't know University of Utah had a sand volleyball team.
I don't know.
I should check into that. See if they're taking
applications.
Yeah.
Once again, she resonates like poverty. I did like that she noted that she feels like a lot of women do. Because I feel like Tony and Parvati are like two of the most common answers.
I would slip Sandra in as well, and Sari. I would say those are the top four. The sort of go-tos.
And for annoying people, Cochran. That's a big favorite.
That was so out of pocket.
Am I wrong?
Okay, no, but...
Yeah, that's all I have to say. Do you have anything about her? Hawaii, I mean, I love her Hawaii representation as well.
I was just about to say, love the Hawaiian representation. CBS is not playing with Hawaiian representation this year. Big Brother casted their first Hawaiian player. Should I get on a Big Brother tangent real quick?
Yeah, actually, I think we have like 30 minutes to go.
Kimo, Big Brother 26, he is the first Hawaiian to be cast on Big Brother, and I believe... Oh, no. Cody lived in Hawaii, but I don't know... I think Cody's not native Hawaiian. I do feel like Tiana might be native Hawaiian.
Yeah, I think
the sounds
from how she.
Yeah,
describes.
She's a native Hawaiian. I want to afford and thrive in Hawaii as a native Hawaiian. I think she may be the first native Hawaiian on Survivor. I'm not 100% positive about that. I know she's not the first person living in Hawaii, but so exciting. I liked this. I will say that I did not notice her love for Gabler. I saw that she said Parvati, and I was like, okay, we can keep going. I just assumed the whole thing was about Parvati. Did not realize sort of like a Gabler slipped in right there. But I don't know. I liked her.
Yeah.
The Office, for how old is she? 27?
It tracks.
Yeah. She cares a lot about her family. I do love. Okay, I may not like Tony's game. I do. I might not love Tony's game, but what I do, I kind of gravitate towards players who are playing for their family. I feel like the theme of people who are like, "I'll do anything for my family," is people who don't care. They're like, "I will do whatever it takes to win." D, Tony,
others,
Rob,
probably.
I could just keep going. Should I just keep naming winners? I'll just start from 1 and go to 46. Okay. Okay. Anyway, that was good. Do you have anything left with Tiana?
Nar.
Nar.
How do I, guys? I do have the option to remove Riley from this call.
Next up, we have Rachel, Miss Rachel. She's 34 from Dexter, Michigan, and now she currently lives in Southfield, Michigan. And baby, graphic design is her passion.
Yeah.
She's a graphic designer, and she got teal toes. I'm just looking at her picture right now.
Ew.
Her toes are teal. She got teal toes. Oh my god, teal fingernails too.
Get that checked out.
Baby, we are back in 2012.
I was gonna
teal
say,
is in.
I cannot stand that
would
color.
Would you say that she's rocking I don't think it's a middle part. It looks like she's trying to. Would you say this is almost a middle part, or would you clarify this is a side part?
I would definitely say she's in between. It is. I would classify that as a soft side part.
Okay, soft side part serve. A triple S.
I would say I actually had a pretty soft side part for a long time before I committed.
I say you would have too.
Yeah.
She is 34, so she's sort of in that era. I love the linen pant.
Me too.
We couldn't have steamed the pant before, but you're on an island.
Yeah.
What did I write about Tiana? What did I write about Rachel? Forced to assimilate. Okay, that kind of excited me. Not excited me. That's a very sad thing to do, having to assimilate to American culture. But that experience of having to go through that is kind of, I'm like, that was really, I don't know if anybody's ever, I'm sure people have talked about that before, but it was kind of exciting hearing that. I was like, okay,
yeah,
I feel like that could apply itself really well to the game. She said one of my favorite things from her thing was, what is something we would never know from looking at you? And she said, I can house the majority of a Costco watermelon in a single sitting.
Which is so relatable.
It's so
love
real.
Watermelon.
I love watermelon.
One thing that stood out to me was that she has a cat named Maybe, which is a character in the TV show Arrested Development.
Oh,
And also, what my family shout out wanted to name our cat before other people had opinions about that and within the family, and we ended up not naming the cat maybe, which is fine. But I just
say their names. Say their names.
yeah. I also really liked that she loves games and she loves money. Why wouldn't she want to be a part of Survivor? And I actually liked how many people did talk about how they are also in it for the $1 million.
Oh, I was so down for that. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, obviously, yes, we're all in it for this once in a lifetime experience, but multiple people were like, girl, I need the money. I need this money.
Yes.
I mean, if you think about it, it's very rare for, unless you're Liz, alleged billionaire, like this is the closest, if you're on Survivor, that's probably the closest any of these people are ever going to get to that amount of money.
I mean, literally someone said that. Is like, this is my chance to get $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm for it. Don't hide the reasons, babe.
Yeah. Okay. Our next participant in Survivor 47 is probably the one with the most people talking about him coming into it because he is kind of famous. His name is John Lovett, and I have loved him for a long time. He is one of the founders of Crooked Media, which is an excellent political media outlet. I think they're really entertaining and accessible and awesome. And also, he's on Pod Save America, which is actually really interesting because back in college, in my politics and government 101 class, we would be assigned to listen to that podcast all the time. And so I've been a long time subscriber. I don't listen as often anymore because now that I work in the field, sometimes it's a little bit much to be consuming too much of that outside of my work hours. But he was also a speechwriter during the Obama administration. And he's also a 42-year-old that lives in Los Angeles. And and I already mentioned this, but he's a podcast host, so he is a colleague of ours.
Hope to make that peer.
Peer. I do hope to make that connection someday.
We'll connect on LinkedIn.
I actually don't think I have the Making Fire podcast on my LinkedIn. Should I add it?
I think we should.
Okay.
Well, you guys, you all can add it. I don't know how that works.
Okay.
I don't know how LinkedIn works.
Okay, that's fine.
Do we sort of put ourselves up as like a brand and then people sort of connect with us, or?
Yeah, I've never done that before. Anyways.
We'll get back to y'all.
This is maybe one of my favorite bios I've ever read. I'm not even kidding. I love every single thing about it. 3 words to describe you, opinions for days. Me too. I love one life experience that prepared you for the game. When I was 13, I got cut from the basketball team all the way to the game. That would be really formative. Totally relatable. I just think he's so funny. I think he gives such like Mike White vibes as well, and just like the wittiness. And I love him. I really hope he makes it far because I think he would be such a fun character. And I'm really excited about watching him. And I really hope he gets to stick around.
Okay, can I be brave?
Yeah.
Okay, the only thing that I didn't love, I do agree that I said that this is really well written. Like, I got his personality clearly through this. I haven't engaged with him as much as you've engaged with him. Like, I am not that familiar with Pod Save America or his other work. I am familiar with Barack Obama, so maybe I've listened to him talk a couple times, so sort of
There's that
way.
connection.
Yeah. But I didn't. What I was missing from this as somebody who's not that familiar with him, I was like, okay, this is all fun. I'm 100% getting your personality. How are you gonna play this game?
I think that I don't know. I don't like really care about what you plan on doing going into the game. It's like what you do once you're in there. And I would rather in these get like an actual personality. You know what I mean?
I guess.
You can. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to shut down what you were saying.
No, you didn't shut it down. Like, I get what you're saying. But I guess like I was kind of looking at this from the approach of I have to pick a winner pick was sort of like what I was thinking about while I was reading through these, and I was like, as much as I am getting your personality and I enjoy your personality, and it's very clear that you're gonna be a character this season. Like, I have no reason to pick him as my winner pick. So spoiler alert.
That's interesting.
Like, he's not on my list of people that I'm sort of going towards. I just feel like he is either going to be somebody that flops really hard, or
Yeah.
it's going to be like he's going to go out in the premiere type situation, or it's going to be he makes it far into the game. Like, I don't think there's going to be a middle ground for him.
Correct.
I feel like it's going to be one way or the other in that sense. But I got his personality. I don't know. I was like, oh, this is silly. Like, I'm having a fun. It's a very well written interview. I don't know if this was transcribed, like if he was talking out loud, or if he like wrote these responses. But this was I was like, this is good. I'm very clearly getting a personality. How do you feel about Penner with an Aubrey Moon and a Cochrane Rising?
Okay, so I did have that pulled up, and that was going to be my next comment, because I did just call people that like Cochrane to be annoying, but I think that also fits his bill. Like, I would maybe call him annoying in like some regards, but like kind of in a fun way.
I've seen videos of him doing interviews, and he gives very Drew Barrymore vibes in the way that he sort of sits like crisscross applesauce in the chair, and he's like I think he like puts his hand out and he's like, let's like talk, like,
and that's
very
exactly
much
where I'm getting at.
Yeah.
But like, once again, that is such a funny response to who do you identify with the most.
No, it definitely is. Like, this was really well written. I agree. When I say, I guess I should clarify that it's not that I didn't like this because it wasn't good. Like, when I think of a not good interview, I'm thinking of like Roxroy or
Who's
Bruce.
that guy?
Thinking of Bruce, I'm thinking of Bruce. Like, that is a bad interview.
But you know what's a fun interview? What was the guy's name last season that we didn't like, where he listed out, I think maybe his name or something?
Was it
Tim?
Tim?
Was it Tim?
Was it Tim?
And like, I thought that was dumb, but also like really funny. And
I think
like,
that was
that's
his name.
I like that it stood out to me.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think it'll be fun. What I'm hoping though preseason is I hope he just doesn't take up too much time. Like, I hope, like, as much as it's exciting to have, because Survivor's had celebrities on before, or at least famous people. I hope he doesn't take too much. But the thing is like, I feel like it'll be justified. Like, I feel like he'll be good in confessionals.
I cannot wait to hear his commentary.
So I'm like,
literally
okay,
what he does for a living.
If he's giving a good confessional, I'm like, okay, valid, get yourself screen time. But I'm like, I'm hoping he just doesn't take up the narrative of the season, especially if he's not, like, if he goes out middle merge, if he goes out pre or like early merge, late pre-merge, I'm like, I don't want to hear that much from you. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But I'm excited. I think it'll be good. I'm excited. I think he'll give very Mike White. I think that was a great comparison. I think he'll give Mike White down.
Thank you.
Are you ready to move on?
So ready.
Let's talk about Genevieve.
Yeah.
Genevieve. She is 33. She's from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Currently still living in Winnipeg, Manitoba. And she's a corporate lawyer. I wrote down that looking at her picture, I feel like she will be seen as a sweet person. Like, okay, let me explain. I like the energy I'm getting from this picture. Look how big her smile is.
Yes.
Her smile.
Shining.
She just gives off the energy of somebody that I'm like, you are just nice. Like, you just give off like nice person energy. But I feel like because of her age, she won't be seen as naive. But I think she's at a good middle point where like she's not going to be seen as motherly either. Like, it's just like, you're a nice person energy, not in the sense of like you're motherly nice, or the sense that you're freshly 19 on the show nice. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh, from this picture again. I haven't heard her talk. I've read her interview. Like I just think visually people are gonna see her and be like, oh, you seem nice. But I think her age will give her an advantage in that.
Yeah.
I feel like, she doesn't give lawyer vibes either. Again, just from the picture, I'm like, you just don't give. Usually they put lawyers in like give her a blazer or something.
Yeah.
This is very much the season of a flowy maxi.
Oh,
it's the season.
It's
the season of a flowy maxi for the girls, and for the boys, it's giving shirts and button-ups.
Yeah.
Shorts and button-ups.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know. I liked it. She doesn't like airports.
Yeah.
Which is so valid.
Yeah. I would say nothing makes me rage more than an incompetent person at an airport.
That'll be me in about 6 days. 7 days.
I wrote down a couple things.
Yeah.
First thing was just okay Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Second, she says that she identifies with strategic women who are direct. Do you think that if Liz had been shown prior to her doing this interview that she would have been listed as well?
Sorry, which part are you talking? You're talking about
which player do you identify with the most? Strategic women who are direct.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say I think Liz fits one of those really well. I don't know if she necessarily. Yeah, and that's what I was going to say.
Yeah. So really can't wait on that. I'm really excited to see that play out. And yeah, that's it. Oh, she wears her heart on her sleeve and her thoughts on her face. Plus, I talk a lot. If that's not us.
So us.
Okay. Next we have Gabe.
Come on, Gabe.
26-year-old from Baltimore, Maryland. Currently a radio show host. So on that comment, what did I say? Oh, I said radio show host. The girls are fighting. Podcast and radio. And I liked him. He's looking for his alliance partner to be trustworthy. I don't know. He seemed nice. I liked that he didn't want to like commit to being like, oh, I want to play like this person. I want to play like this person. I want to do this. He's just like, I want to be my own person on Survivor and like do my best. But I don't really want to like classify it as people before.
I don't know if he peaked this in his interview, but he did quit his job to play Survivor.
Yeah.
Which I respect the hustle. We just got heavily in. Check out our coverage of Survivor China, specifically our most recent episode, if you really want to get into the details of whether or not you should leave your job to play Survivor. I'm like, if your job isn't accommodating, I can understand not being accommodating, but I'm like, if your job isn't accommodating this once in a lifetime opportunity experience, maybe it's just like it's best for you to say adios amigo. I liked Gabe too. He said something that I liked, that he said he's good at selling people on himself, like the idea of him as a person. Like I feel like that is something that goes really well. I feel like people in a game that's moving quick, like New Era Survivor, people often need to hear why it's best for them to work with you instead of them coming to that conclusion themselves. Like I think it's better for you to go up and be like, this is what I can offer you. And I think this is real. This is me. I feel like that will work really well for him. So I don't know. I said there's not a lot of game info in here. It's mostly about him, which is fine. But he seems nice. Like I was like, I'm not negative on him.
Same.
So slay. Let's move on to Kyle. Flashback. You could either go flashback to 2007 in the sense of the podcast we just recorded in Survivor China, or flashback 2007 on this haircut.
I was thinking he does look like a lot of people from our hometown.
So true. Kyle is 31. He's from Sheboygan, Michigan, and still lives in Sheboygan, Michigan. And he, like many people in our hometown, is a construction worker.
He just gives the vibe. I don't know. Oh, I said the word.
One thing,
and that's also
Mr.
not
Kyle,
a bad thing to look like people from our hometown.
Oh no, it's not at all.
I'm not.
This was just it was just a connection point for both of us.
Yeah.
I love people from my hometown.
Yeah,
my mom,
I do too. Actually,
your mom.
You love my mom.
I love your mom. Kyle is a talker / writer. I don't know what it is. This was a lengthy.
Yeah.
He's a talker. Okay. One thing that was a possible negative for me. He has lived van life, which to me is a red flag personally.
Yeah.
I know that might be like controversial to say. But van life to me, I'm like, I don't know if I can trust you.
What's your problem with van life? Like,
my problem for me with band life is that, oh, my dogs are barking.
Go.
Okay, my problem with van life, I don't know. I think it might just be like an irrational, like, that just isn't gonna work for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if there's I just don't like it, or people that associate themselves with it.
Interesting.
I think van life is actually a terrible, terrible thing, and anybody that participates in it should, like,
don't.
Maddie said, "Do not make me come back and cut." Do not make me come back and cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wants he says that he wants honesty more than anything, which I'm also like, oh my. Like, honesty in Survivor.
I actually want there to be no honesty, but that's from a viewer's perspective.
Well, my God, a couple people have said this. They're like, I really want honesty, and I'm like, you can only get so much honesty in Survivor.
Yeah.
Why did I write this? I said, why is he giving Carolyn vibes? I don't know why I wrote that.
I said, okay, interesting your thoughts about van life. I would not do it. But I can see the appeal of it. I kind of like the idea of being able to just, like, go where you want and, like, not be tied down to, like, a house or, like, a job that's keeping you in one place or whatever. Now, do I think it's for me? Absolutely not. And I, following an incident last summer where I hit a deer on the road.
Allegedly.
I'll say it. The deer actually ran into my car, but that's a whole other thing. I don't love driving, and, like, the thought of my entire belongings, I just don't think that being on the road 24/7 is for me. I find it very stressful, and I would not do well in that situation. I also like just having space and, like, a bathroom that is not a compost toilet.
There's not a bucket.
Yeah.
Next to your kitchen.
Yeah, there's, like, that's gross.
Well, let us know if y'all want more discourse on van life. We'll do another episode or something for it.
Maybe we try van life. We vlog it.
Oh, that's gonna be a no for me.
On our tour.
That's gonna be a no for me. You can stay in the van. I'll stay in a hotel.
Oh, okay. Are you ready to move on?
Yeah, I'm ready to move on. I don't know. I didn't feel like I got much from this, but, like, there was a lot of words and not a lot of, like, substance.
Well, speaking of shorts and button-ups, next we have Keshawn. He is a 28-year-old ER doctor from San Francisco, California, and I really liked him. What is his parents? Oh, he was raised in his family-owned liquor store. How interesting. Also, just, I know I like to talk about how I don't like when people's jobs are, like, their entire personalities on Survivor, but I do think it takes a very specific kind of person to want to be an ER doctor. That seems like
specifically an ER
the
doctor.
most stressful thing I could possibly think of to be. And so, like, props to you. I think that just says a lot about like who you are and your ability to adapt to different things and like talking to people in crazy situations and like navigating that. I think that is one of the jobs that would like probably help you a lot in this game. And also, I really connected to this. He religiously plays Wordle in the other New York Times games with his partner.
I was gonna ask you about that. Like, do you think, what was your game called? Vortex?
R.I.P. Vertex, yes.
Vertex. Do you think he was an avid Vertex player?
Maybe. But I religiously play all the New York Times games. Not all, most.
I was gonna say, do you do the big crossword?
I do the big crossword. I would say Monday through Thursday.
So valid. So valid.
Yeah. Lately, I've also been really into Spelling Bee. I try and get the Pangram every single day, so that's really interesting. But I just connect to him a lot. I also hate slow walkers, loud chewers, and thinking salt and pepper seasoning. So, what are your thoughts?
I liked him. I liked him. Sorry, I was reading my notes. I liked that. I liked his like life experience that he talks about. I know also this is something we talk about where it's like, oh my god, like I don't like it when people relate their occupation or other parts of their life sort of to how they'll play Survivor. But I do think there's value to being an ER doctor. I also think there's value to the first gen experience that he talks about. He's having that, like, you have to go through a lot to sort of get to where he's gotten. I think it's really interesting. He talked about in his alliance partner, he wants someone who he can disagree with but still work with, which I do think is, we see this a lot in the new era where we're seeing a lot of these duos that like low-key hate each other but like need each other, which I think is so interesting and so fun to watch. So I'm hoping maybe we have some sort of interaction with him with somebody else on this season. I think that'll be really fun. Hopefully there's some good banter.
Yeah.
Well, moving on, we have Sam. Sam is 24, also somebody who is in high school at the same time I was in high school. Sam is from Schaumburg, Illinois, and currently lives in Nashville, Tennessee. Schaumburg.
Schaumburgen.
What was the town? Where was Tevin from? I remember that being a...
Oh my god, what was it? You have to look it up.
I'll look it up.
But I'm going to die laughing.
He lives in Nashville. He's a sports reporter.
Yeah.
And, yeah, he wants to play like Michelle. I keep grabbing this little thing from my desk to put my mic on, and I've dropped it like 2 or 3 times at this point. Anyway, he wants to play like Winchell Fitzgerald, which I think is always a fun person to want to play like. And he wants somebody a little bit more strategic that he can pair up with. Where's Tevin from?
Goochland, Virginia. Which will never not be funny.
I just wasn't expecting Goochland again. Like, that really just got me. Like, you could have said anything, and that was not what I expected. Sam wants to work with some strategic people that he can sort of throw under the bus later in the game. He loves his fiance. He did drama. He loves musical theater. Slam poetry. I think he's interesting. He kind of gives me Jake vibes.
Yeah.
From this
He's
little
gritty.
thing. He's pretty?
Gritty?
Oh. I was like, okay. You're married, so check that. There was a lot of people who said they were gritty. I wonder if I can search up how many times the word grit was used. Let's see. Oh, my computer did not like that. I think it's about to shut off. Bye, everybody.
Oh no, you're breaking up a little, freezing.
I told you my computer's about to blow up. Oh, grit was used 4 times.
Wow.
Which I guess is not a lot. Anyway, but I don't know. He just seems like a guy. Like, good for him. I'm sure he'll have a good time out in Fiji.
So true. I liked him. IDK.
I know. I'm just like, nothing seems wrong with him. Like, I don't
No.
not like him, but I'm like, hey, maybe he'll do well. Maybe he won't. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Well, next we have Andy, who is a 31-year-old AI research assistant from Brooklyn, New York. And I just want to say off the bat, not really into the whole AI thing.
No. And he talks about how much he loves it. Like, it's his passion. And I'm like,
Not to send big AI after me, I do think that there is a time and a place for, like, a chat GPT, maybe, like, an email that you don't know how to write, blah, 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 blah. But at its core, I'm so against it. Like, AI in general. I hate the lack of just literally at its core humanness. I hate the self-driving cars. I hate the videos. I hate the pictures. I hate everything about it, if I'm being completely honest. I don't think
there's anything redeemable about AI in the current cultural understanding of it. Mm-mm. I'm like, I don't get anything from this.
I think it's brain rot.
I use Grammarly occasionally, and I'll use ChatGPT never to like write anything if I have like a question sometimes.
Yeah.
But
I'm also like, I can Google it.
No, that's what I'm like. But here's the thing: is what's pissing me off about Google, girl, we're gonna get shut down. What's pissing me off about Google is that why is that when I type something in, the first response is an AI response?
Yes. Is there a way to like turn that off? Also, I hate it in my social media apps now.
Why does every single app have some sort of AI feature? I don't care about your AI assistant.
No, I don't want it.
Why in the Bank of America app can I not find anything? And every time I have to ask Erica, the little AI assistant, because everything is hidden. Every time I want to see a bank statement, I can never find it, and I have to go in and say, I have to go, show me my past statements. Girl, why are you hiding everything from me? So I have to use your stupid AI assistant. Okay. Also, AI is not stupid.
I mean, it's getting better.
Okay. I say that. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I say AI is not stupid because I'm scared when the AI takes over that the people who were mean to it are going to die first. So that's why when I ask Siri for help with anything, I always say please.
Got it. Anyways, I'm
telling y'all, be nice to your AI.
Sorry to Andy, but I'm not interested in you in the least. I actually hate it. I just hate AI so much. Like, it makes my blood boil.
Me
Get
too.
out. So, I'm actually good to move on from him. Do you have anything to say?
Another thing I didn't like about Andy is that he said that what he wants in an alliance partner is someone who is not willing to win at all costs and is susceptible to true loyalty.
Mm-hmm. Ew.
Like, they want a moral compass and an ally. And I'm like, guys, why are we bringing morals in if y'all don't throw your damn morals out the window?
Okay, I do have one positive thing to say about him.
Okay.
Just to be a little bit nice, because this is not a bullying podcast. He likes the game Minesweeper, and that is a really fun game.
I also thought that was really fun and interesting. I don't know what the word I said comes across blank, but really intense. I said he comes across carefree.
Yeah.
But the energy that I'm getting is also really intense energy.
Yeah.
No. He seems very. Yeah, but he seems. I mean, again, when we're talking about his job and we're talking about who he wants to work with, nothing against him personally. I'm sure he's great.
Yeah, for sure.
I bet you he'll be really charming. That's kind of the energy. I feel like he's gonna be very charismatic. Okay, moving on. We are going to Miss Sue. Sue is 59. She is from.
But she doesn't look it.
She is from. She's almost 60 years old. That's crazy. She got a choker on. She's from Kirkwood, New York. but now she lives in Putnam Valley, New York, and she's a flight school owner. Let's talk about Miss Sue. What is a Sigma female?
I didn't notice that.
What is a Sigma female? She says, what is something we would never know from looking at you? And she says, I'm a Sigma female, an introvert. I thrive to be a champion, but I don't want the pat on the back.
That's so interesting.
Red flag. I don't know what Sigma female means, but
I'm looking it up.
Talking about saying female instead of like woman or girl is kind of a red flag to me personally.
A Sigma female. I can't even say that. AI tells me that a Sigma female is a character model that is independent, magnetic, and unbothered by cultural standards and peer pressure.
Okay, I'm so
similar
sorry.
to a Sigma male in terms of character.
It's giving.
It's giving.
You know what? It's giving Gabler. That's all I'm gonna say. It's giving Gabler. That's what I'm gonna say. That's what I'm gonna say.
It's giving. She is all of a sudden really concerned about Springfield, Ohio.
I saw a TikTok and the girl said, y'all, all I gotta do to get my kitty is go to Springfield, Ohio.
And then people are commenting like, flights to Springfield, Ohio. Lord.
Sue wants the title. She wants to become a legend. I don't. You know what she's giving me? She's giving me very much Debbie from Co-Wrong.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Are you familiar?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the energy I'm giving. I don't know. I feel like she'll be a character.
One to watch for sure.
She'll definitely be one to watch, maybe for the wrong reasons.
On a watch list.
I was gonna say the FBI in that sense. I hope we can. If we could submit maybe one question to Sue, because podcasts often are able to submit questions, and then the players answer the questions, and they can sort of get that back. I think the Making Fire podcast to Sue would be, where were you on January 6th?
Yeah.
Maybe. And Sue, this is no shade. Everybody has their hobbies.
Just curious.
Yeah. I give it for being almost 60 years old on Survivor is not easy. So, and she looks very fit.
Yeah, she does. Oh.
She looks like Heather. Let me pull up a side by side for myself real quick.
They're just blonde and old. Older.
With a little
with a little sad January 6th.
Well, I was gonna say a little work done, but okay, wait, let's see. Heather
Ald something.
Aldred. Okay. They're literally in the same exact pose. What the hell was Heather wearing for her? Okay, you go on to the next person. I'm about to.
Okay. Next, we have Caroline, who is a 27-year-old strategy consultant who lives in Chicago, Illinois. And she is...
Oh my god. Guys. Okay, sorry. That was really
She is
scary.
one to love a flowy dress.
Okay, no, I saw this dress and I was like, what a weird thing.
I was like, I didn't know Survivor had prom.
No, it is giving prom.
Anyways, she has wanted to be on Survivor since she was 5. She likes to travel. She resonated with Emily from Survivor 45, which is really interesting. Loves her honest takes, which we did get to see one of the best character arcs in a long time from Emily. So that would be really interesting. I wouldn't be mad about seeing that again. And she wants an alliance partner who thinks that they can beat her in the final tribal. But fair game. One thing I did really like is I kind of want to go to Chicago and go to one of her themed game show competition nights. She likes to host chopped cooking contests, hot one spicy nugget challenges, amazing race themed scavenger hunts, and I love that.
I liked her. I think similar to some of the other people that we've talked about, like, there wasn't anything negative. There wasn't anything overly, I was like, oh, like, I want you on my team.
The dress did stand out to me most.
Oh, the dress definitely stood out. I low-key think that was the look of the...
She said, Survivor Eleganza.
So true. But it was cool. I liked her. What is a strategy consultant?
I don't know. And can I speak my truth?
Yeah.
I don't really care to know. I'm guessing it's like business, like profits, like your strategy for the quarter, you know, how to girl boss, those kinds of things.
How to girl boss away.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I think my computer's finally back to reality. I don't know. We're gonna move on. I actually can't see you right now. So I'm just gonna you can see me?
Yeah, just keep going.
Okay, I'm going to try to move on to Asia Welch. If I can scroll on my phone. It's not working. Oh, it's because this isn't the article. This is Okay, wait, just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Maybe you can introduce Asia. I think you can introduce Asia. Yeah.
I don't know if it's Asia or is it Aisha.
It's Asia.
It is Asia for sure.
Yes, this is one I was talking about last episode. She is a Rob has a podcaster.
Oh.
So, I am familiar with Asia, as you are familiar with John Lovett. My Asia Welch is your John Lovett.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So Asia is a 32-year-old from Houston, Texas, and she's an IT consultant. She has watched Survivor since season 1, and she overcame Hurricane Harvey. She identifies with Sari and Natalie Anderson, and she says in an alliance partner she wants blind loyalty, which that's interesting. Too many people have been blindsided by their ally. Very true, but
this is just like a reoccurring thing. This, like, so many people this season were like, I want my ally to be worse at the game than me. Like, dumb. I want my ally to be stupid, which is weird because I feel like that, like, okay, I'm not saying Banu was stupid. I'm not saying Q was stupid. Those are grown men. They do what they want to do. But, like, I feel like we saw that problem last season with Q, right? People are like, oh, Q, we can just, who talked Q on? Who was, like, the person that, I can't remember. Somebody was like, who played last season? Who won last season? No, who won last season?
No, literally. Canada. Solana.
Maria voted for, not for Charlie.
Not Canada. Kenzie.
Oh, Kenzie. Kenzie wanted to drag Q on for a little bit. Was like, I'll just hold on to Q. Oh no, and not important. Anyway, I think there's a danger with playing with people who aren't maybe as strategically sound. So that's interesting, but I like her. Okay, so like I said, if I could for a second, Asia, it is pronounced Asia. That's her Twitter handle is Asia like Asia. So like that's how it's pronounced. She is one of my favorite on the RHAP network. I love Asia. She is fellow colleague, our peer. So smart, so sound. She knows exactly what she's talking about. I think I associate her more with Big Brother than I do Survivor. But hey, do what she needs to do. Get that bag. One thing that I really liked about this was that she talks about how she reached a point of her life where she was ready for this, which I think a lot of people don't. And this is something that we're seeing a lot of consistency in these stories. A lot of people, at least a handful of people in this cast release was like, I've been trying to apply, but like this is the moment. This is like the time it worked out for me. I'm ready. This is it. And I like that Asia's story was a little different, where she was like, I waited until I was in the moment of my life where I knew I was ready to do this.
Yeah.
And I think that's really promising. I was like, this is really, I like how that sounds. I do think there are some, I'm like, okay, identify with Sari. Like, okay, here we go with Sari.
Her dogs are the Spice Girls, though.
That I lived for. That kind of gave.
Yeah.
She calls them the Spice Girls 8. I'm excited for her. I'm so excited to have her on TV. She'll be the first, other than Rob, first of like the Rob Has a Podcast crew, I think, to like go onto reality TV.
And she doesn't mention that in her bio.
No, she doesn't say she's a podcaster. She doesn't say she is
affiliated
at all, which I'm sure that I would assume not legal, but I'm assuming CBS doesn't necessarily want to attach them, especially because they have their own official Survivor podcast.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure they're not dying for her to be like.
So if you went on Survivor, this would all be, we wouldn't.
Oh, we'd have to delete everything. I'm wondering how they're gonna, because so this was something we talked about over the summer. So they got back from filming over the summer, and no, she wasn't like on the pods at all. But then she recently was on, not recently, I think like a month ago, she was on a Big Brother podcast, like an update podcast. So we're like, okay, she's back. But I don't know. She's definitely gonna have. I would say, other than John, she probably has the most amount of fans. It's weird because it's been hard to avoid her because I follow so many people related. I follow her on Twitter. Like, I followed her on Twitter before she was announced. And so, but I think it'll be interesting. She talked in some of her pregame press about people recognizing her. So I'll be interested to see. But I'm excited for her. I think it'll be really fun to watch her. I'm sorry that her house got hit by Hurricane Harvey. That must have been hard. A lot of house damage. House is being burnt down. Hurricane Harvey.
Yeah. We only have 2 left.
Oh, well, I'm back loaded in, so I can do Sierra right.
Sierra.
Miss Sierra. She is 27 from Wilmington, Delaware. She currently lives in Phoenixville, PA, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And she's a nurse.
With $100,000 of student debt.
Good for her.
That is scary.
Okay, the thing that I got from this interview was that she is competitive, is what I got.
Yeah.
She said in her favorite hobbies, I am also a big beer pong girl. Minus the beer sub-seltzer, heck, put water in them. I just love that damn game.
I'm like a you response.
That does sound like a me response. I just feel like she just gives competitive energy.
Yeah.
But for some reason, and this isn't meant in a negative way at all, I'm looking at her and I'm like, you just look normal.
Yeah, she does.
And I feel like there's a couple people on this season, I'm just like, you look normal. Like, you literally looked like you were at a grocery store, somebody came up to you and was like, come play Survivor.
Okay, I do have a question for you.
Of course.
So she says that she can say the alphabet backwards in 5 seconds. I was wondering if maybe you could give that a shot, just based off your success with talking backwards recently.
ZYXW... ZYXWPOLMN... Wait, I skipped it. Okay, hold on. Let me lock it. Okay, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Z, Y, X, W, V, U, T, R, S, S, R, P, O, A, L, M, A, O, O, L, O, P, N, M, L, J, K, K, J, G, did I get them? G.
I don't know.
What comes after G? E, F, F, E, D, C, B, A.
That's
I think I did it.
I can't correct you. Yeah.
And, we'll get Sierra on the podcast.
You guys can talk backwards to each other.
Loves competition. She knows herself. She works with people. She's a nurse.
Yeah.
I don't know, girl. You're not saying anything about her. How you feel about Sierra? Sierra.
Fine.
Fuck.
She just feels like your girl. I don't know.
She just feels normal.
Yeah, I don't really have thoughts, to be honest.
I'm kind of excited for her.
She might be. I think I also similarly had no thoughts about Kelly before, so and like also a nurse. So maybe she's.
That was a good callback.
Thank you.
It's like we do this. We've been doing this for a year or something.
Yeah, can't say the alphabet backwards, but I can remember random players.
Yeah, I really didn't have much on her, but
Same. Okay, well that brings us to our final Survivor player for this season. Saul, age 43, lives in Norwalk, Connecticut, and he's a medical device sales.
that I've learned recently on Love Island. There was like 4 people who are in medical device sales that were on Love Island this season.
Lucrative.
Well, people said that most of the time, you'll say on Love Island, they'll say they're in medical device sales, and that is code word for they don't really have a job.
Really?
I think, yeah. I
That's
watched a TikTok about it.
Okay.
So.
Well, do you know who Ryan Cabrera is?
Okay, I also wrote WTF, who is Ryan Cabrera?
International pop sensation Ryan
I
Cabrera.
think he is 43, so if I were to bet, that is just a little bit prior to our era. Let me look him up on Spotify.
I also did think that it was really interesting response to one of the questions. Who is your biggest inspiration and why? He stated, "This will all come to an end, period. Once I recognized and accepted this, my second life started."
I won't move till you finally see.
Okay. Maybe our older audience listeners can chime in if they're familiar with Ryan Cabrera.
I've never heard that song in my life.
No. Yeah. He
really loves Gabler.
also loves Gambler.
This is a short.
And you know what? That was a good way to wrap it up as well.
It was a good way to sort of wrap up that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't have much on him. Anyway, that was it. That's our cast. I think this is going to be a fun cast.
Yeah.
I remember when we went through our Survivor 46. If y'all watched the first couple episodes of our Survivor 46 coverage, we were not big. I think even from the moment we did a cast assessment, I remember us going through being like, there's really no standout people in this like list.
Yeah.
Of cast members. And then once we started the season, we were like, this is boring, blah blah blah. But obviously Survivor 46 turned it out at the end of the season. It was so great. But I feel a little more confident with this group of castaways. I'm feeling a little bit more like we have some standout people. It's going to be a fun time.
Yeah.
But we have to get to the down and dirty real quick.
Okay. So I get to go first.
To clarify, Maddie and I have been doing since season 45. We each pick a winner pick.
Yeah.
And whoever is closest.
Whoever's person
lasts the longest gets the opportunity to pick first for the next winner pick, which worked last season. Maddie sniped my winner pick opportunity. Maddie picked Q, and Q was my winner pick option as well, and Q did better than mine was Tevin last season.
Can we? Okay, so because I get to like pick the first one, but. Can we say ours at the same time to see if we pick the same one? Because that would have been really fun last time.
Yes, I remember because you were like, let's do that. And I was like, no, let's do it. And then we had the same person.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was kind of hoping that you would pick somebody. I don't know if I'm ready. Okay. So I have one wild pick that I'm like, I don't even know why I want this person.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go for it. I'm going to put my eggs in the basket for this random person. I'm
going to say the banned word of the episode, vibes. This is based on vibes. Okay. 3.
Yeah.
2. 1. Keyshawn.
Genevieve.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Speak on that.
Okay, I guess I'll speak on it. I don't. Okay, so my options. Kishan was one. The sort of my running list, and I was like, well, I'll feel it out as we're talking. I Rome stood out for me for some reason.
Okay.
I also liked Tiana. And Genevieve. I don't know why.
That's so interesting. None of them were in my top.
I had a hard time. Okay, I also did this really quickly before. Like, I didn't sit down and think about this. I was just like doing it as I was giving notes. I feel like Genevieve, guys. I'm also, can I admit, I am kind of low key going for somebody who I think will last longer because Maddie has been besting me, y'all. Genevieve, I don't know. I just get positive energy.
Yeah.
I do feel like, okay, the thing is she also gives me the energy of somebody that might go in the first couple episodes. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. I just have a feeling she's going to be able to integrate herself well, knock on wood. But I also feel like she does have an opportunity to be the first boot. But I liked her. I liked her thing. I liked that she's from Canada. Canadian players have been doing well. I liked that she's familiar with the show, but it doesn't seem like she's like super fan level,
Yeah.
Level. Does that make sense? Like she's not like overly analytical about everything, which I think is good. I like that she's close with her family. Like I said earlier in this episode, I like people who are playing for their family. I think that's so fun. I don't know. I liked her, and I feel like I get good energy, and I feel like she might do well.
Yeah, I'm excited about her too. I picked Keyshawn for all the reasons I talked about when we really went over him. I'm a little bit worried that I feel like a lot of times, like, people who know they're smart, that ends up being a problem. Because they're like, oh, I know I'm smart, and, like, kind of annoy everyone else because of it. But I'm feeling like maybe he'll be able to play that down a bit. And he just seems really smart and relatable.
I'm just doing a mini scroll through these promo pictures, and there just wasn't a single iron or ironing board out there.
No, I think maybe the humidity usually takes care of that.
Yeah. Who are some of your other options? Did you have other options?
Okay, I actually had John on there. Because I really want him to do well, but then I was like, I don't really want to, like, that feels like just not a good winner pick. I'd rather support someone else.
That's my thing too.
Like, give someone else some love.
This cast, I think something also to think about is this cast, as we talked about, is it seems very focused on this $1 million. And it's like, are they going to reward somebody who has such...
Yeah.
Are you going to give a Mike White? Are you going to give a John?
But then I was also thinking, I don't really care if they don't win. I want them to go far.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Anyways...
I don't know. I feel like my pick was really wild, like I'm like second guessing myself a little bit, but you know what?
No, commit to Genevieve.
I'm gonna commit to it. It was really between her and Tiana.
No.
I feel like Tiana is gonna be someone to watch out for too, so I don't know. I feel like it's a woman's season.
It's a woman's world. Well, thank you for watching this episode of the Making Fire podcast. Our next episode will be Survivor 47 premiere coverage, which is so exciting. Can't believe we're already there.
That's so exciting. So, it's been a fun summer.
It has been a fun summer. Well, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube, and be sure to give us a follow and like and comment on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok as well at Making Fire Pod. And this has been fun. Thank you for watching.
And you know what? Thank you all for watching.
You know what? Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
And that was at you.
I can't wait to see how this turns out.
Oh my god!